So next we would like to dive into a summary of the interesting and innovative practices that we found during our interviews. One firm said that they publish anonymized case outcomes on a regular basis. And by this, we mean that when a case was substantiated, they would anonymize the case and then publish the results for their entire employee population to read. And we thought that this was innovative because it's a very direct way to communicate to the employee population what type of behavior in real time is unacceptable and the consequences of that type of behavior. This would also perhaps increase the prevalence of employees feeling comfortable to bring issues forward because they know what type of process takes place when they report a case. Now, still another firm said that they provide an advice hotline, not just an anonymous reporting hotline, but a hotline where an employee could call in to ask for advice on a specific issue. And we thought this was innovative because there are many instances when managers or employees may think that this is a gray line and aren't sure if they should report it or if it's something that's worth just letting go. Still another firm that we spoke to said that they have dedicated headcount to a #MeToo cross-functional HR team. And we thought that this was important to highlight because for any business imperative, a business will dedicate headcount to addressing a specific issue. And so this, to Amanda and I, highlights, to at least within this one firm, how important the societal movement is for addressing within the confines of their own company. Now, another practice that we recognized was that some companies have C-suite members that are direct representatives of inclusion initiatives. Not just executive sponsors, but they also engage in discussion. They host events for the employees to discuss this issue. One company that we spoke to said that they not only have discussions, but they encourage debate on this issue, which we thought was particularly innovative because debate on an issue, when it's open, honest, and respectful, can produce root causes of a particular issue and allow the company to address those root causes. Another company that we spoke to said that they had invited the founder of #MeToo into their company to speak at an event and to provide their perspective. And we thought that this was particularly innovative because it provides a very direct link between the societal movement and the employees within the company. And a couple firms that we spoke to have said that they have gone on a co-creation journey to address their policies and address their practices with the employees. And we think that this is important because co-creation is a way to bring employees into the fold of ownership, not only of policies and practices, but also more ownership of a culture related to preventing sexual harassment in a workplace. Now, there are several implications of our research and the findings that we have from looking at the research of others. The first implication is that HR needs to consider upskilling their employee relations. With the rise of Me Too, the increased discussion and the the uptick of reports that we found within companies, it makes sense that employee relations perhaps are not ready for an increased volume or increased complexity of the issues that #MeToo may bring along. Another implication is to explore more predictive analytics and what those can do to prevent sexually harassing behaviors. Still another implication for this is that HR needs to tackle the gray area, either explicitly through their policies or through innovative practices such as the one we highlighted before with publishing anonymized reports and the outcomes of those reports. Another implication for this, particularly for the global firms with multiple country locations where perhaps culture differs from that of the United States, is to enhance the messaging in those remote locations. And another implication that we would like to highlight is to deliver on the employee experience. There's been, across HR over the past several years, there's been an increased focus on the employee experience, particularly with the war for talent. Now, employee relations may also consider taking this lens when they develop practices and policies related to sexual harassment prevention and response on a company level. If a star employee is either complaining or is an alleged harasser, their experience through the complaint process and through the adjudication can be an important mechanism for retention if retention is deemed to be a necessary outcome. And finally, we feel that any of our recommendations and all of these implications need to be taken in light of an organization's specific transparency goal. We recognize that some organizations would like to be more transparent than other organizations. And so some of our recommendations may not fit into every organization's transparency agenda.